What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a video going back in time a little bit. I'm just trying to catch up and get you guys up to speed with the progress and all the work done that I've done on the GTR. So I've taken all the stuff that I had in the previous shop still that I have not posted, condensed it a whole hell of a lot, and just kind of combined it, and I did a little bit of a voiceover to kind of get us through this, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Really would appreciate it if you guys do watch and stick around to the end, and drop a comment down below. Toss a like if you guys do enjoy the content. I've been really enjoying posting again, and hope you guys are enjoying it too. But I'll cut the talking though. Enjoy the video. All right, what is going on, guys? So we're just gonna make this quick and easy, hopefully. Just gonna walk you guys through pretty much the progress to update you and bring you up to speed with where we're at with the GTR. So at the moment, currently, and sorry if things are a little bit scrambled, and I'm gonna try and make it make sense. So at the moment, we are working on the little floor piece here on the passenger side of the car, the left side of the car. You guys can see how much rust and how bad that floor is. It actually was pushed up quite a bit just from being jacked up on. If you guys remember the original rockers that I had, they were in such bad shape. So obviously we have the new ones welded in. First step for me was just to go ahead and chop out all the rust, all the stuff that was just rotted out, and just get it out of the way so we can start figuring out a replacement piece for that area. Also needed to get that out, and looking at the condition of it, it's pretty bad. Obviously, rust is to a minimal, right? Typical stuff. So now once I have that flange of the floor prepared, the flange actually came off of the new rockers. I just removed them just to kind of clean things up in between. I really didn't need to. It was just more so one of those things like, why not? So cleaned up and got some access. Also, just a quick appreciation of how good the actual car looks. I mean, it obviously can't really call it a car, can we? But just seeing the door and the fender on there, at that point in time, it was pretty nice. You know, it helped me kind of keep going. Also wanted to just finalize the gaps around the door, specifically actually more so along the rocker, the bottom of the door. So just wanted to kind of see if the rocker itself was in a good spot. Needed to make sure that the door was lined with the quarter panel and the fender as well, at least so we can kind of figure out where it wanted to sit. And then from that point, got things just finalized, just for a peace of mind. Everything was actually perfect. I didn't have to do any changes. The fender right there is kind of tweaked from the bottom, so it was tough for me to get it lined up perfectly. But all in all, really pleased with the fit. So that's just basically what I'm doing now, is just kind of getting the fitment, because once I welded the rocker in, there's no changing it. That's the gap that we're working with. So I wanted to make sure that it all looked good, that there was no variation in heights. So now basically just starting to get that piece of the floor welded back in, that flange portion. Just tacking things in at the moment, just because, I just like to kind of move around and bounce around a lot, especially with a project this big. Sometimes it's nice just to kind of change it up and keep the variety instead of just getting stuck on one portion. So yeah, just like I said, just one piece at a time. You guys can see we're just it's going exactly in the same spot where it came off from. I just took it off to clean things up, tossed some weld through primer in between there, and yeah, basically just set it up for a future of rust-free life. You know what I'm saying? So currently, you guys see it, we are now just kind of zapping it back in place, hammer and dolly, making sure that everything fits up beautifully, and actually really pleased with how it's coming out. So up front we have this gap. You guys can see, actually now I just welded it back in. That piece that I removed in the beginning that you guys saw now is back in place. So now we can work on that major gap that I just chopped out. So a little bit of tape. If you guys are trying to make templates, tape is an awesome tool to use. So just tape up where you want it to sit. A little bit of marker action, and well, honestly, now we're just kind of bouncing around, because this is one of those points in the video where we're like, oh, sorry, we are now what we were working on, we are now switching it up. So this part, as you can see, super rusty in the back. That's just a floor area, bouncing around again. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get through the stuff that I did and kind of get back up to speed so we can be more current. The videos would be more enjoyable, and this stuff is just, we're just trying to get through it, right? So now at the moment, you guys see, I'm rebuilding the entire wheelhouse. So for those that recall, that wheelhouse was completely rotted away. There was almost, well, I'm not completely, but you guys see now we have a full flange. I all made this by hand too, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty happy about it. I definitely could have made it better, but for my first time around, very happy with it, very happy with it. So you guys now see we're just left with that back portion of the wheelhouse. That part's pretty bad, obviously a lot missing, so I just went ahead and just slapped on the quarter panel just so we can have like a reference point and just continue the line of the wheelhouse to make up our next piece. So now here you guys will see we're just kind of quickly whip up this this little back portion. Start with just your basic, I believe, don't quote me, I think I'm using 20 gauge sheet metal. I'm gonna have to double check on that, but I'm pretty sure it's 20 gauge. 18 is just unnecessarily thick. 22 is kind of at that border where it's a little bit thin. So you guys can kind of see now we're just shaping things back up. Most of the car actually was built 22 gauge. I'm now just bumping it up to 20 gauge because, well, why not? So you guys see now we're just kind of shaping this up. I wasn't too pleased with it. It just didn't look too satisfying. I felt like I spent so much time on building this piece and it just, I don't know. But you guys see it actually, it's starting to shape up. You know, it's one of those things where you kind of just do it one step at a time, and you get there a little bit more each time, and it starts to look like a real piece. You guys see at this point in time, we actually switched over to a body cart that I built. May make a video or a quick shorts video on making that cart. It was super cool, super handy, and obviously the GTR is currently still sitting on it. So now, what am I doing? We're currently just making this piece still. I'm actually now making the flange portion of that part to mate up with the piece that you just saw me make. And you can see I'm struggling, man. Seeing the shop situation back in Texas, just even seeing it on film just stresses me out. Look at how messy, look at how cluttered. There was no organization, there was no storage, so everything just ended up everywhere, and it was just so bad. So very, very happy with the current setup that we have at the new shop here. It's been much more organized, let's just put it that way. So now, as you can see, a lot of clamps, getting everything in place where it needs to sit, and then just slowly starting to tack things up together. Just have one little more piece to add to it. I did make this in a couple, I think 2 or 3 pieces, just because it's a lot easier that way. Don't think that sometimes you have to make all these recreated pieces out of one piece of metal. Sometimes you can, but a lot of times it almost is easier just to go ahead and do a multi-piece. So you guys will kind of see what I'm talking about. I mean, if you just dive into it, you'll know what you can make out of one piece and what you can't. So just a quick top tip, don't be afraid to make it out of multiple pieces. So again, beautiful tape template, you guys see it. You'd be surprised what you can create with some tape. So just take that template of tape and just transfer it onto a piece of sheet metal and just cut along your marks. And slowly but surely, you'll get yourself a piece out of it. Little hammer and dolly work just to get things shaped up. You guys see it. And I definitely would, if you're doing stuff like this, hammer and dolly set is definitely essential. I do believe I have one in my Amazon store. I'm going to try and link it down below for you guys, but can't say I'm going to promise that. But yeah, so like I said, just trying to shape things up. You can use other little random shop objects as a dolly. Honestly, I've used like a hockey puck. I've used like, intercooler piping and stainless steel tubing and things like that just to act as some sort of a shape. So, but like I said, you can't really beat the whole dolly setup. So we're cruising along. This actually, I just wanted to show you guys kind of the time it took to create that. That was all in like 20 times fast forward of time-lapse deal. And you guys can see like it's pretty chaotic looking at it, but once we have it tacked in place, you guys can see I did actually screw up a little bit. I actually ended up remaking that piece because, I don't know, it's hard to tell, but there was like a little gap up top. So I had to toss it, scrap it, try again, but like I said, it's just all part of it. Woody was there to keep me company, so I really could be upset, you know what I mean? And yeah, but once we got that taken care of, it looked really good. So you guys are about to see in a second here how nice it is. It's actually shaping up, so just little by little, just kind of tacking things up. Sometimes you do have to chop your tack welds, and like I said, sometimes you got to take a step back to make a couple forward. That's just part of the game. So you guys see it, we're just slowly tacking things in place, making sure I'm really happy with the fitment. Don't want any overlap with the panels. We want things to be buttered up really nice, really clean. And the whole point is when I'm done, if you were to go look like inside the wheelhouse or any repair for that matter, you would never even notice anything. It would just be like, oh, this just looks like a clean car. Like there's no rust. Like that's kind of the point, which is unfortunate in a way, because it's kind of hard to appreciate unless you guys have watched me do every single repair
And obviously I haven't been able to film just every single thing. I'm a one-man team. So sometimes I might miss a couple things just because I'm working. But you guys see, little by little, step by step, it starts to shape up. So now obviously we're not leaving those welds in there, just a quick dress up, and it's gonna look like we never did anything. So that's cool. I think we're about to see the somewhat finished product. You guys see it cleaned up quite nice. But yeah, you know, still a little bit of work to be done. You guys, I mean, you know, it's just part of the game. So get it good, and then like I said, I'm bouncing around. So now we're just cleaning up and dressing up the outer side of it, because even though we'll never see this part of the car, no one ever will, it's going to be inside of the quarter panel, it will be impossible to see it. We still want to dress it up, still want to clean it up, still want to make it look good. So just a lot more welding, a lot more grinding, and it's all cool. A little bit of hammer and dolly work. It came out really sweet. Again, you know, sometimes this is one of those jobs where, looking back at it, I probably could have done a better job, but this is the first time I did it. I was actually really satisfied, and I think you guys are going to be pretty happy with it too. So check it out. I actually still have, this is not finished again, but as far as like the general shape, really pleased with it. I mean, there was no flange, there was nothing for the quarter panel to tuck up under for it to weld onto. It was all just rubber cement. You guys know how my car was. The car was super bad. So that spot right here, I actually ended up chopping, like I said, this is one of those points where I probably could have done it, but I actually just chopped up that entire portion, like a 4-inch section. I just chopped it and cut a new square out and just welded it in, because, you know, it was those things. It's just one of those things, man. You learn as you go. If I were to do it again, which I'm going to have to do it on the other side, we'll do a better job. I'll be more prepared. I'll have more knowledge. It's just one of those things. Everything you do for the first time, the next time you do it, you're always going to be better. You learn everything is, you know, you learn a lot your first time. So we're getting pretty close to the finish here of this segment. Don't want to make it too long. I'm sorry, I've probably already bored you guys enough by just jabbering on the camera, but just a couple little spots that we also went ahead and fixed. Kind of hard to, like I said, my filming at this point was kind of subpar. I was a little upset. I just wanted to see kind of what the situation was here on this side of the whole inner wheelhouse, and it was pretty bad. Honestly, this side was a lot better condition now that I'm thinking about it than the side that we just worked on. But yeah, as you can still see, quite a bit of work that needs to be done, and yeah, I'll try and film because I still have yet to do it. Current day, I have yet to touch that part of the wheelhouse, so we'll see if we can get something filmed for you guys. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Just a quick update. There will be another one. Like, I didn't want to make this video too long, so another update to catch you guys up. And from that point on, we should be pretty current. Video should be good. Thanks for watching.